In a small, peaceful village surrounded by dusty roads and warm sunlight, there lived a kind old teacher. He was known for sitting outside his little clay house every evening, sharing simple wisdom with anyone who wished to listen. Beside him, there was always a wooden table, and on that table, there was always a teapot. It was not a beautiful teapot. It wasn't shiny. It wasn't smooth. In fact, it had a visible crack running down one side. When tea was poured into it, a small drop would slowly leak out. One afternoon, a young man came to visit the teacher. His shoulders were heavy with disappointment. "I am tired," the young man said. "No matter how hard I try, I am never good enough. Someone is always better, smarter, stronger, more successful. I feel flawed." The old teacher smiled gently but said nothing. Instead, he lifted the teapot and poured warm tea into 2 small cups. As expected, a few drops escaped from the crack and slid down onto the wooden table. The young man noticed. "Master," he said, "your teapot is broken. Why don't you replace it?" The teacher looked at the teapot with calm eyes. "Broken?" he asked softly. "Is it broken or simply imperfect?" The young man frowned. "It leaks. That means it's flawed." The teacher handed him a cup of tea. "Drink," he said. The young man took a sip. The tea was warm, rich, comforting. "Does it taste different because the pot has a crack?" the teacher asked. "No," the young man replied. "Does the crack stop it from holding tea?" "No." "Does it stop us from sharing this moment?" The young man shook his head. The teacher leaned forward. "My friend," he said, "this teapot has served me for many years. It has poured tea for travelers, neighbors, and strangers. It has witnessed laughter, tears, and quiet evenings like this one. Yes, it has a crack, but that crack has never stopped it from fulfilling its purpose." The young man stared at the teapot in silence. The teacher continued, "Look at your life the same way. You call yourself flawed because you compare yourself to others. But tell me, does your imperfection stop you from being kind, from trying, from growing?" The young man hesitated. "No." "Does it stop you from loving your family, from chasing your dreams?" "No." The teacher smiled again. "Then perhaps you are not broken. Perhaps you are simply human." The wind moved gently through the village trees. Somewhere in the distance, children laughed. The teacher poured more tea. Again, a few drops slipped through the crack and onto the table. But this time, the young man watched differently. "Do you know," the teacher said quietly, "that because of this crack, I am reminded to slow down? I must pour carefully. I must pay attention. The flaw forces mindfulness. It teaches patience." He paused. "Perfection often creates pride, but imperfection creates awareness." The young man felt something shift inside him. "All this time," he said slowly, "I thought my weaknesses made me less valuable." The teacher nodded gently. "That is the lie many people believe. Nobody is perfect. Not the merchant in the big house, not the strongest warrior, not even the teacher sitting in front of you." The young man looked surprised. "You?" The teacher laughed softly. "I have made mistakes. I have failed. I have doubted myself. But those experiences shaped me. They made me compassionate. They made me wise." He lifted the teapot once more. "If this pot were flawless, it would still hold tea. But it would not remind me that imperfection is natural. It would not teach this lesson." The sun began to set, painting the village sky in shades of gold and orange. "My friend," the teacher said, his voice calm and steady, "you do not need to be perfect to be worthy. You do not need to eliminate every flaw before you are allowed to exist proudly in this world." The young man felt lighter now. "So what should I do?" he asked. "Stop chasing perfection," the teacher replied. "Chase growth, chase purpose, chase kindness. Accept your cracks. They are part of your design." The young man looked once more at the teapot. It was still cracked, still imperfect, but it was still pouring tea, still serving, still enough. As the evening grew quiet, the teacher said one final thing. "Remember this, perfection is an illusion people admire from a distance. Imperfection is what makes us real up close." And from that day on, whenever the young man felt inadequate, he remembered the cracked teapot. It wasn't flawless, but it was useful. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough. And so was he.